Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about last night's episode of NXT, as it was a very, very good episode. Now, there was some parts that were, slacking, especially where the speed title happened. I'm not a big fan of that. I think that's just going to become the 24/7 title, but on NXT. I said that in my recent video, and I'm going to stand by my prediction there. I think it's just going to be passed around. Jasper Troy beat Tavion Heights last night. It's just going to keep getting passed around. So I'm not looking forward to paying a lot of attention into the speed title like I was whenever it was announced. But I think that has definitely wore off on me. But now we're going to take a look at everything that happened, the four biggest things that happened on NXT last night. Make sure to subscribe because we do daily wrestling content over here on this channel. But without further ado, let's hop right into it with the opener of NXT being the future of the NXT title, with Ava announcing a six-man ladder match, which Ricky Saints would obviously be involved in. And next week's matches for, so who will qualify for it, will be Eli Knight versus Shawn Legacy and Josh Briggs versus Shiloh Hill. Now, y'all know Eli Knight's my boy. Eli Knight's my guy. I got Eli Knight beating Shawn Legacy. Don't care what anybody says. He's on NXT now. He's going to make an impact. I got Eli Knight winning. And dude, imagine Eli Knight in a ladder match in NXT. Now, that's just a different level of insane. And for Josh Briggs versus Shawn Legacy, or Josh Briggs versus Shiloh Hill, um, you know, that's actually weird because I could obviously see Shawn Legacy beating Eli Knight, but it's just like, dude, now it is so crazy to think. We were just talking about Eli Knight on Reality of Wrestling. We were doing Reality of Wrestling reviews, and we were talking about Eli Knight's matches on Reality of Wrestling. Now we're talking about Eli Knight's matches on NXT. It is, dude. It's crazy how the time flew, and it really came fast too. Like from the time of Eli Knight being in Evolve versus NXT was like a 2 month span. Like that's insane. But it's gonna be a probably match of the year so far for Shawn Legacy versus Eli Knight. And guys, that's not a headset dent. That's where my hair's sticking up. A lot of people said that was my headset dent. It's not my headset dent. Okay, it just looks weird. All right. Anyways, because like, quit looking up there. You know what I mean? Like, have some respect. Anyways, um, little sidetracked. I think Shiloh Hill will beat Josh Briggs, and I got Eli Knight beating Shawn Legacy. That's my two predictions. But overall, do we see Ricky Saints win the NXT Championship again? Possibly. I could possibly see that. Um, does he deserve it? Probably. Will Tony D'Angelo get involved in that ladder match? Probably. Will he be in the ladder match? Probably not. So Tony D'Angelo is eventually going to have to come out of his little dark corner and have to make some moves on the mic, or else he's not getting a match. Just point blank simple. Unless he makes some weird rituals going on and just writing stuff on the wall saying I want a match or something, he ain't getting a match. So it's going to be interesting. We're eventually going to be able to see Tony D'Angelo in ring action in an actual match. But for now, I guess we'll just keep seeing him attack people. But the future of the NXT title is definitely looking up with NXT signing Keanu Carver, Shawn Legacy, Vanity Project, all these guys from Evolve. That is just spectacular. And I just want to say it now. Imagine if Zeta still was still in WWE and didn't go away from WWE and instead stayed with WWE instead of going to AEW. Imagine Zeta Steel versus Blake Monroe, Jordan Gray, stuff like that. Obviously, Jordan is on the main roster now, but imagine Zeta Steel against women in the NXT roster that she could have faced. If only she knew what was ahead of her instead of going to AEW. But I think either way, the future would have been brighter in WWE than AEW. I've always said it. I think AEW is a resort for former WWE superstars, but I think Zeta Steel's taking a different route, which I like. I like her being different and taking the different route, but at the same time, it's like, do you want to go the good route or do you want to go the route that nobody's took, really? So, whatever, it is what it is, but she'll eventually land back in WWE because she's such a good talent, and I think that she has to land back in WWE somehow. But we would also see Blake Monroe come out and talk about how she misses and she pretty much got screwed after she was supposed to have a match with Thea Hale to try to reclaim her Women's North American Championship. She said that she felt robbed. She felt wronged and she felt like she got screwed. So, in that case, Jada Parker would come out and instead of talking at all, she would just slap the taste out of her mouth and end up returning, coming back, and destroying Blake Monroe. So that's like huge. That's really huge. Um, did not expect Jada Parker to come back on this episode of NXT. That was something I definitely didn't expect to see. But glad Jada's back. Jada is insane, and I mean, I've always loved Jada Parker. Do I think that her consistency needs to get better? 100%. It feels like she's coming back every 2 months, and it's just, I mean, I get it if it was injuries, but it's getting rode off TV by Lash Legend. Now, there could be some injuries behind the scenes we haven't seen. Um, y'all let me know in the comments if that was the case. But I didn't hear anything about it during Jada being gone, whether that was sources not reporting it or what. But I didn't hear anything about it. So y'all let me know down below if that was the case for Jada Parker. But hey, I'm so glad she's back. I think it's going to be super cool to see her versus Blake Monroe. But I think that her attacking Blake Monroe right here wasn't a sign of what's next for Blake Monroe. I think it was a stepping stone to get Jada Parker back in the NXT door. So I think it's just going to be exciting to see her get her foot back in the door of NXT and not just go after Blake Monroe. Like, I don't think that's what should happen. But I think it should be like she's just attacking everybody, going after the NXT Championship, trying to win a title this time. And I think she'll finally hit home with the NXT Championship. I think with Jada returning and coming back and obviously attacking Blake Monroe and all, I think that this time, her returning this time, I think she'll obviously hit home and win that NXT Championship this time instead of just like, settling out and getting attacked and then being out. So I think that she'll finally win that NXT Championship on this run. And after that, main roster. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Main roster after that, but great way to open up NXT, having Jada come back, having the future of NXT being insane. But then we got to the co-main event where Izzy Dane would come out and celebrate, obviously, our beating Tatum or losing to Tatum Paxley, but then Tatum Paxley would come out and attack Izzy Dame. And this was the most interesting part of the night. We saw Tatum Paxley beat Izzy Dame, but Tatum Paxley is still mad at Izzy Dame, so she comes out there and attacks Izzy Dame. That makes no sense. That's like a boxer winning a boxing match and then saying, "Hey, I want a rematch again, even though I just won." That makes no sense. So like Tatum Paxley just beat Izzy Dame and now wants a rematch for absolutely no reason at all. It is what it is. The matches are banger, but I mean, it's just like, man, why, bro? Both Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame have such a high future, such a crazy limit, but why are we getting stuck on each other? It's like two great things getting caught on each other. It's just not gonna work. So I want Tatum and Izzy to both be free and stop beefing with each other and end up going to the top. Not together, but separate ways, but the same height as each other. And both of these superstars have just sky's the limit. So it's gonna be cool to see them, keep raising, going to that NXT Championship, battling in these rivalries, but for a reason, for a title, instead of just battling for no reason. But still, I mean, the matches are cool, so I'll wait till the final result to see how we're ending up here. But either way, interesting for sure. But it is what it is. And the main event, Joe Hendry would face Dion Lennox, where, I thought that this match, it was obviously a no disqualification match, so anything could happen. And, first thing you hear Dion Lennox, you obviously know that Saquon Sugars and the rest of Dark State's going to get involved during this match, which happened. But OTM comes to the aid. OTM comes to the aid of Dark State in a 3v2, ends up fending them off. And man, I actually love OTM right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, their character obviously could use some work. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool for their character at least. But I think that if they could just figure it out in the ring and figure out how to use their tone, figure out how to use their voice, I mean, it would be great. But either way, great tag team there. Them fending off Dark State, and then to end the match, we would see Tony D'Angelo once again show up in the shadows, attack Dion Lennox, and act like he was going to help Joe Hendry up. But no, he's not going to help Joe Hendry up, and instead, he's going to attack Joe Hendry and lay him on top of Dion Lennox to get Joe Hendry the win. Now, Joe Hendry's not the superstar to rub it in Dion's face and be like, "Hey, I just beat you," because obviously you had the help of Tony D'Angelo. But why is Tony doing this? What is Tony's motive here? Is it to just attack everybody? Is this just straight up a white sick situation, or is it he's just wanting to attack people for fun? That could be the issue. He could just be wanting to attack people, and then there's obviously some problems you have to sort out there if you're Tony D'Angelo. But what is Tony up to? If I had to pick, I'd probably say that his motive is to just go out there and win the championship. And if we see him in the ladder match, super cool. We'll probably win it. But I don't think we're seeing him in the ladder match, unfortunately, fellas. He can't stay out the shadows long enough. So If he's just going to stay in a dark little corner, he's not going to get put in a match by Ava out of all people. Ava's definitely not putting him in a match if he's just going to keep attacking people. We know how she likes to just break out. You know, Thea Hill's walking out, and Blake Monroe, God forbid, hits Thea Hill, attacks her before the bell. Match over, medics, medics. No, Ava is not a good general manager, and I'm going to be the first person to say that. Anyways, decent main event. Y'all let me know down below what y'all think Tony D'Angelo's motive is. What is he actually trying to do? Is he trying to win a championship, or is he just trying to cause havoc in NXT? Will he go back after Stacks and win that Heritage Cup or the International Championship? I don't know, but we'll definitely be able to find out. Let me know down below what y'all thought in the comments about this NXT. It was pretty solid. Let me know about the future of the NXT title. Those matches are obviously bangers. Let me know down below who you think is going to win that. What you thought about Jaida Parker returning, and obviously Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley keeping their beef alive. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Deuces, deuces.